Okay, from this point, we're going to turn the mesh off. And so all we have now are our locators. And so what we will do is make sure that we are in the animate or rigging drop down here. So right in the upper left hand corner, there's modeling and rigging. So we want to go to rigging, and then if we go to skeleton, and under create joints, we just want to reset the tool. And actually I'm going to just close this tab. So all we have currently is the joint tool. Okay, so with the joint tool selected, actually first things first is what I will do now is go to my locators group, okay, and so with the root selected and the hips selected, we're just going to place our first initial joints. These don't have any rotation. These are going to be basically zeroed out on our rotations. Obviously there's translations and no rotations. So with those two selected, if you go to the comment menu and say shapes and then go over to joint, okay, so that places two joints for us. Okay, so we just want to make sure that the first one, joint 01, we're going to name root, and for this one we'll name hips. Okay, so the hips, we want the root to be the parent, so we'll select the hips, then the root, and hit P. So now our hips are a child of the root joint. Okay, so currently we still have our joint tool current is what it's still our current tool that is in effect right now. So with this, we can actually, if we hold down V, okay, we can basically snap two points. So when we hold down V and we just hit our locator, okay, actually we don't want anything selected. So nothing selected. Actually, I think, well, from the root it should be okay. So if we select the hips, okay, and we go back to our skeleton, create joints, and from here we can go hold our V key and we'll select top to here, to here, to here, to here. So we're basically just following that joint. Okay, so this is going to be our left leg with our left ankle, ball, and foot. So from here, if we just open this up, we can name this. So actually we'll just name this leg, knee, ankle, ball, and toe. Okay, so we can select all those again, come to our Comet Tools Rename, and we can put the left suffix on this. Okay, so this just saves a bunch of renaming. I'll probably just leave this rename tool up so we can get through this. Okay, so with this one, we're going to go back. So in the menu, you can see that our joint tool is right here. So the last tool that we used, and also I think if you hit Y, the Y key is usually the last tool that you used, and so that was the joint tool. So with the joint tool selected, we can hit V, and then we're going to go spine 1, spine 2 to chest. Okay, So with that, actually, is that right? Looks right. Actually, I'm going to undo out of that. Okay, so for this guy, what I want to do is go all the way to the head. Okay, so we don't want to go to the clavicle, so we're going to just go spine 1 to chest to neck, head, and head end, or head top. Okay, so we can double check this. So head, and this is our head locator, or head top. So this is head, this is neck, so 1, or chest, so 1, 2, chest, neck, head, to the top. Okay, so if that kind of mixes you up, you can also, hopefully that doesn't mix you up and you can kind of visualize this, but you can select, say, the clavicle and the left arm and hide by just saying Control H. Okay, that'll just kind of get that out of the way, and it won't show those. And you can also, but just understand that the jaw, we don't want to go to the jaw. We're just going to go from here to here. Okay, so last tool used, if we hold down, hit the Y key, and so we'll hold down V, and we'll go spine 1, spine 2, chest, neck, head, head top. Okay, and let's enter, and that gets us out of that joint selection. Okay, so the clavicle and the shoulder or left arm are hidden. So to get those back, we can just go to display, show, last hidden, which is Control Shift H. Okay, and that'll bring those other two back that we hid. So from here, we can bring this joint chain, and so from here we're going to just grab these guys, grab these first two, and just name spine, and 1, padding of 2, rename. So we have spine 01, spine 02, and then we'll name this one chest, and this one will be neck, and this one will be head, and this one will be head end, underscore end. Well, it's not end, it's head. I was thinking head end and put hend. Head end, okay. So with this, actually, this whole chain selected, okay, there's a few tools in Comet's tools which I find really awesome, and they're orient tools. Okay, so under the Comet menu, under joints hierarchy, there's a Comet joint orient. Okay, so with that selected, we can actually just say show axis. So now we can see all of our axes and how they're actually going up the chain. Okay, we want all these to be the same, and we want most game engines like the X joint going down the joint, so it's going to be pointed up, going all the way up. Okay, so we want our up axis to be X, and the world up we want to be Y. Okay, so first things first, we'll just run a test just to check, and so we'll say orient, and that's wrong. Okay, so we just want to make sure that our aim and Y is up and reorient, and so that looks like it's correct. Actually, we want the Y's of this one. We want the Z's flipped on these two guys here. So with these two selected, the spine and the chest, we just want to flip these guys. So here, I believe if you just go, I think if, so 91, so we want to go 180 in X, I believe. So we'll just go this way, and that's correct. Okay, so now we have Y all going to the back, X is going up the joint, or down the joint, okay, to the top. And from here, our Z's are actually all going that way. Okay, this just helps yeah, actually, I may change this to Y going, actually that's right, Z and Y, okay, yep, looks good. Okay, so with these are all oriented properly, and I want to also orient these legs, the leg joints as well. So if we say show axis and say orient joints, and we should get all the, so Z is going, so this guy I want to rotate 180, and Y is going that way, Z is going, okay, so they're all oriented the proper way. So these, I'll select all these joints and say hide axis, because I don't need those. So it's basically, it clogs up the, not clogs up, but it's just kind of an, not really an eyesore either, but, so spine one we're going to send to the root. So we will say spine one and then hold down control and pick the root and hit P for parent. And left leg, we want to go to the hips joint, and so we'll select the left leg, go to the select and control, select the hips and hit P. And so now we have a root joint, and then coming down from the hips to the left leg, left knee, left ankle, left ball, left toe, and then coming up we go spine one, spine two, chest, neck, head, head end. Okay, so with that made, we will move over to the arm joint. Okay, so from here we will do the same thing. So we'll select the Y key and go back to our joint selection, and we'll hit the V key, and we will just follow all the way down to the hand joint. Okay, so with that, and if you hit enter, okay, that's exactly what I want you to do. And then on this one we're going to hit Y again to go back to last tool, and hold the V key, and we're going to say thumb 1, thumb 2, thumb 3, hit enter, and same with the other fingers. So V, and we'll just draw those out, hit enter, Y, V, and enter, and Y, V, and enter. Okay, so these ones, I want to name these out. Okay, so we'll select these joints. Actually, we'll select this first chain first just to make sure. So from here, we're going to say clav. Actually, we'll name this clav, and name this arm. and name this guy elbow, and this one hand. And we'll select this whole chain. And selecting the whole chain is just holding down the shift key down to the end, and just going to add that left prefix. Okay, and from here we'll just select this joint 5. If you hold down shift and hit the plus, that opens up everything that's underneath that parent. So this, actually for this one we can actually select all 3 and name this, so thumb, and we'll just rename a number and add the prefix. Okay, so left thumb 01, 02, 03, and then from this one I'm just holding down shift and hitting the plus, and this guy will be my pointer, so just name this pointer, rename a number, add prefix, and this guy I'm going to name middle, and so rename and add prefix, and then this is going to be my pinky, so let's name pinky, and rename a number, add prefix. Okay, so from here we're going to do the same thing with our orients. Okay, so we'll grab the left clav group, which is the clav, the arm, elbow, and the hand, and we'll say show axis, just so I can actually see this. And so we want Y going up, like how we see, okay? So everything should still be X, Y, and then you hit orient, so sending X down the joint, which is exactly what we're looking for. And for the thumb, we'll do the same. So we'll show the axes, and we just want to orient. Okay, and so for this I want to actually bring the mesh back, just so I can see how those fingers are actually, and that looks like it's right. Okay, so that actually looks like that orient it looks correct. Okay, so for the pointer we can show axis and orient, Y going up, and left middle, show axis and orient, it looks right, left pinky, show axis and orient. Okay, that looks all good for now. Okay, so what I want to do is actually select all these joints and turn off, so hit hide axis, and from here I'm going to actually close this down because I don't need it right now, and from here I'm going to select the thumb, come to the hand, so actually I'll just go pinky 01, middle 01, and I'm just selecting control, so left pinky, control, click, left middle, left pointer, left thumb, and then I'll go to the hand, and then I will say P for parent. Okay, so now I have my hand controlling all these guys. Okay, so you can see my hand, and the thumb, I'm not too sure. I might want to move this thumb, but I'm gonna we'll roll with this for now and see. Might have to change that. That's an easy fix though. Okay, so from here we'll select the left clav, and we're going to control click the chest joint, or shift click the chest joint and hit P. So now we're just parenting the clavicle to the chest joint, and so we basically have that skeleton. This is just kind of a basic skeleton, and if we hide our mesh, we can see that most of our orients should be good. So if we select the root, and if you go to select hierarchy, this will grab all the joints, and we can also go to Comet, Joints, Display, Joint Orient, Show Axis. So this will show us all of our axes basically going the way that we want them to, with the root and the hips are basically Y up and Z forward. Everything else is going to be, at least for the leg, going Y forward, and then the spine, everything else going Y back. So that is looking okay to me. Actually, whoops, don't want to close that window. I just want to hide those axes. Okay, and from here, if we select the left leg and the left clav and go to skeleton, mirror joints, and the option box, and we'll just say we're going to mirror across X, X, Y, okay? And then our replacement names for duplicated joints are going to be, so we'll say left, we're going to search for left, and then replace with right, okay? And then we'll say mirror. Let's see. Nope. I believe this is Y. Is this YZ? Might be YZ. Sometimes just have to, yep, YZ. So the flip is happening along YZ. So, and if you hit H, that'll basically, oh, not H, not hide, G. G will actually just run the last command. So that last command that I ran was the skeleton mirror joints, and so it just mirrored over to the right hand side, and you can see if I open that up, all my right side now is named right. And so if I select, say, if I open this up, so left arm and right arm, and I also set this to behavior. So now when I rotate his arms, they rotate almost like a flapping. If you set it the other way, under skeleton mirror joints, in the option under orientation, it keeps the same orientation. So if you actually, just for example, I'll show you exactly what can happen. So if I just Control Z out of this, okay, so if I select this guy and say orientation and then apply, so now when I select both of these guys and I go to rotate, they're going to both carry the same rotation. So if I rotate along Z going up, it's going, does that make sense? So if I go and just undo that and just say behavior, it keeps the same behavior that I want. So if I mirror that and then I select those arms, so now my rotations match. They both behave the same way. Okay? Same with the legs. So now if I rotate this way or that way, they both go the same way. All right? So I'm going to close the rename down and just collapse most of this just down to the root and collapse down the locators group. I like to keep everything really clean in my outliner too. So that's another key thing that you really want to think about, is keeping things clean. Okay, so for the joint, the facial joints, so with the facial joints we can actually just go and select all these locators we have here. And so all these locators, they all are looking fine with what we're going after. And so if we go to Comet, Shapes, Joint, this actually places the joint exactly how we have our locators. Okay, so with this, we're actually going to see where we're at. And I'm just going to turn X-ray off. And so this joint is actually our lower lip. So I'm going to name that lower lip. And this one is going to be left lower lip. This one's probably going to be the corner. Yep, left corner. Corner lip. This is going to be left top lip. This is going to be top lip. And let's see where we're at now. So I'll just hit 4 just to actually see what that is. And so I'm just hitting 4, 5, 6. Okay, 7 turns on the lights. So 6 and whoops. All right, so I believe this was jaw. And it's going to be jaw end. This guy we can make the jaw the parent, and this one is going to be to left. So top eyelid, I'm going to say top eyelid 1, 2, 3. So I'll select these guys first. So 1, 2, 3. And go to Comet, Tools, Rename. And I'm going to name top eye. Actually, let's go eyelid. Top eyelid. Okay, and then we'll just pad this 2 times. Prefix this with left. Okay, and then so this is going to be 1, 2, 3, and so same thing, we want this one to say bottom eyelid, and add prefix. Okay, this is going to be brow 1, 2, 3, and so we'll just name this brow. Rename a number, add prefix. Okay, this is going to be left cheek. So we can just name this cheek, rename, prefix. All right, and then we have one stray joint. Not sure what that guy, oh, that's our eyeball. Okay, so we'll name this eyeball and add prefix. There we go. So with this, I want to actually, so all the brows, I'm going to select brow 1, 2, 3, and then shift select the head joint and hit P for parent, and the eyeball I want going to the head. Whoops, eyeball. So all the eyelids, we'll select all the eyelids, the left cheek, all the top eyelids. We'll actually have top lip, top lips, and jaw. And all these are going to go to the head joint. So shift, select the head, and hit P. That will parent all those joints over to there. Okay, one other thing that I want to do as well for these eyelids is that the eyelid is actually going to rotate from kind of where the eyeball is at. So with that eyeball joint selected, I'm going to just Control D twice. Okay, so, and then I'll find them here, so by just hitting F. And so left eyeball 1, I'm going to name this left upper eyelid. Yes, and then this one is going to be left lower eyelid. Okay, and then so top eyelids 2 and 3 are going to go to the upper eyelid, and we're going to parent that. Okay, so now when we rotate from here, let's see how it closes. And having those extra joints just kind of control that lid a little better, which is what we're looking for. So I'll select all the, so Control, so just 1, 2, 3, and then selecting Control for the lower lid and say Parent. Okay, so now when I select this one, I'm getting the lower lid. Okay, so here. And then also from here, so if I make that rotation, I can actually still make minor adjustments to that lid. So that's good. Okay, so I'm going to hit 6. And so from here, what I want to do is, so from here, I'm going to select the left top lip. Okay, and that's going to do the head, which is right. So actually I'm going to select the left lower eyelid, and I will just go to mirror. So it's under skeleton mirror joints. Okay, that puts it on the right hand side. And the left upper eyelid, and I'll hit G and that basically puts over to the right. And then from the left brow 1, I'll just say G2, G3, G. Okay, so now we have right 1, 2, 3. Okay, and from here we want to select our eyeball. So left eyeball, and then I'll hit G. Now I get a right one. And then for the cheek, I'm going to hit G, get a right cheek. And then for this one, I'm going to go to the left top lip and hit G, left corner, G, lower, left lower, and G. And that should be okay for the lips. All right, so that's basically our facial structure. So I'm just kind of looking through here and just collapsing things. So from the hips, we have our left leg, right leg. And so, okay, so lower lip. Our lower lips, we actually want to go to our jaw. Okay, so I'm going to just hit 4 so I can see, and just select, so shift select the jaw and P for parent. So now when I select the jaw joint, and I can basically, so if I hit 6, that will open the jaw. Okay, so if we hide our mesh, you can see what our joint structure is looking like. Okay, so we have a full facial bone rig, and from here we have all of our joint setup that we are going to use. We're also going to set up an FK-IK switching, and so to do so, we'll move to that next, and I'll show you how to set that up. One thing that I do want to also point out at this point, we have not saved. So if Maya crashed at any point, we would have lost our work. So thankfully my Maya hasn't crashed. But from here, so I will save scene as, and so from this point I will go to my Maya folder, and from here I will call this mascot underscore rig, because this is what we're building our rig now, and so this is basically what we have is our joint skeleton system with our mesh, but nothing is bound to that skeleton quite yet. So just want to make sure that you're saving more often than not, so just kind of get used to, once you save that rig in the basically underscore rig, you know, just hit that control S often enough after you make changes, enough changes to make it worthwhile. It's basically just to save time, so if you do lose work, that you're not redoing a lot of work. So